Look, I don't want to stress you, but GTA 6 is coming in November, and I'll show you exactly how to make faceless GTA 6 videos with AI before it's too late, and how to monetize those videos. Now, we only have a month before the countdown begins, and this might be the last GTA game of our lifetimes at this rate, and it's the biggest game launch ever. There are already new channels going viral with it, like this one, or this channel, or even this new channel. So let's start. Let's first get one thing straight. We're not gonna make shorts. We're gonna make long form videos because shorts are kind of a waste of time. Yes, I said it. And in gaming, they're kind of a double waste of time because if you think about the RPM from the shorts, you need to get so many views to make it work. And it's also just hard to build a sustainable channel on shorts. You'd need so many views to make it work. And also think about who's watching, right? I mean, the shorts feed people are going to be like half scrolling on their way to work on the commute. And the person who sits down and watches a 15-minute video, start to finish, has a much higher intent. They're watching for a reason. And so advertisers actually pay a lot more money to reach them as well, which means higher RPMs for you. And now with shorts, you also can't really promote anything. I mean, you can't even put a link there, and shorts viewers barely convert into long form anyway, so they don't really grow your channel in a meaningful way at all. And long form is the opposite. You have more mid-roll ads throughout your video and a strong audience. Now, what's gonna happen after GTA 6 launches? Is my channel going to die? Is it gonna explode? What's gonna happen? No. GTA 5 came out in 2013. Yes, it's been that long. It's absolutely crazy. And channels are still making a full-time living off it today. So what we do is we use the hype to grow fast now in the launch period. And then once GTA 6 is already here, you wanna pivot into covering the game GTA itself. All right, so what do you actually make videos about? Well, you use a strategy that I like to call niche mixing. Now, niche mixing is very simple. You take a format that already works and went viral in one niche over here, and then you bring it over to here, you bring it out there, and you mix it into another niche over here. And in our case, that's GTA 6. What you don't do is you don't copy. That's not what this is. You model what already works, and you bring it over with your own little twist to it into this new niche. Now, how could it be so simple? Well, the format is already kind of proven over here. Somebody's tested it, somebody's made sure it works, and there's no reason to like spray and pray. So here's how you actually do it, and you take something from here to here, is you go find a video format that is blowing up in another niche. It doesn't have to be gaming, doesn't even have to be related. And that's the whole point of niche mixing. It could be a true crime video, a history video, or a GTA 4 video, a GTA 5 video that's proven to work. And then you ask yourself one question. Well, you can actually ask AI that, but you ask yourself one question. What is the GTA 6 version of this video? It's gonna give you a couple of examples, like the real story behind X from a documentary channel. You might take that and you might make the real story behind the GTA 6 delay. And that's a video that I guarantee would perform quite well. And so another one might be a trailer breakdown video from GTA 5 or from Call of Duty, and that could become everything we missed in the GTA 6 trailer. Or something like 10 things hidden in the GTA 6 map. Same format, but for GTA 6. And that, my friends, is niche mixing broken down very simply. You're running a play that's already proven, you're just mixing it up. Now, one warning is don't use the examples I showed you, because if everybody uses the same format, it's not gonna work. You have to go out and do the work and actually find your own. This is the one step where you have to be creative. Everything after this, I mean, you can just copy me step by step. So here's how you find and test video ideas. And so what we're gonna do is we're going to use AI. So open up something called Claude. It's completely free, and it's what I use for this whole workflow. Now, I personally use ChatGPT and other AI for lots of other things, but for ideas and writing, Claude is kind of like the best one right now. And so here's what we do, okay? step by step. You want to find a channel that's already going viral with a format that you like. You open up their most popular videos, and then you simply head over there, you screenshot that video so the titles and the view counts are visible in your screenshot of that video. And then you take that screenshot and you simply drag it into Claude, you upload it, and then you add a simple prompt. Something like, these titles went viral, break down the format and the psychology behind them, then apply that exact format to GTA 6 and give me 30 video ideas. That's going to give you a whole bunch of ideas, proven ideas and concepts. And by the way, if you do want my checklist and my prompts, sign up for my free training in the description where I do give you all these resources. Now, you have to do some work again, and that is to filter these ideas because the AI is going to throw everything at you. Some of it, or most of it, is going to be pretty bad, and that's the game. You want to validate everything and see if it actually does the job that it's supposed to do. And you want to go on YouTube and you want to see, did this video actually go viral? Is it a real video, or is the AI just hallucinating? And so if you can just go through this list and you can find one good idea that you choose out of, let's say, 30 ideas, that's all you need. You only need one. All right, so let's start writing our script step by step. But before we write, there's one more thing. We need research. This is the difference between going viral, getting everything you want, and getting completely stuck at like 50 views. I've been there, I can tell you this is the secret. So listen up. Everybody's generating scripts with AI now, which means that YouTube and your audience is drowning in videos that all sound the exact same. And the algorithm actually scans your script, your entire video, and analyzes it the second you upload. And if your video says what thousands of other GTA videos already said, there's no reason for the algorithm to choose you. So to get views, you have to be saying something that feels new. Your video doesn't have to be new or like everything in the video, but a part of it has to at least feel new or be expressed in a new way. So once you picked your idea, we're going to open up Claude again, and we're going to start researching. Something like, research this topic for me and find 10 interesting, lesser known facts that most people haven't heard about. And for each of these facts, tell me exactly where it comes from. Now, for GTA content, your main sources of interesting things are going to be Rockstar and their posts and their trailers, and also something like Take-Two's earning calls, which are public and absolutely stuffed with detail. Basically like the owner of the GTA franchise. We also have developer interviews, gaming journalists, and other newspapers and other channels. Double check your sources so that Claude gives you something that actually is legit, because if you can't find it in a source, you should probably not include it in your video either, because it probably the AI hallucinating and giving you a lot of fake stuff. All right, so let's generate our final script. Now, this used to be the most painful part in making a video. It kind of still is. Sitting down and writing thousands of words. What AI can do is it can lift a ton of that burden away from you. You don't need to hire a writer. You don't need to be a writer. You don't even need to write. But it's not the magic that everybody says it is, okay? We have to, get down to a normal level and, look at it realistically. You still need to understand script writing and how a good script works, because you're gonna do the manual edits yourself. It also depends on the content, right? I actually write my own scripts for this channel that you're watching now because it's my views and my opinions, so it's quite hard to outsource it. But on another channel or something that you might start, like a gaming in GTA 6, AI is extremely powerful, because the trick is you don't just say like, write me a GTA 6 script, do it now, go. You have to include every little detail. Your title, your research, a style reference guide for your channel, and if you have a new channel, just use a transcript of another video that you like, if you want to take that style to your channel and get the same kind of style and format. But also a big warning, just like humans, just like myself, Claude is going to ramble unless you tell it to be concise. So then, once you've told it that, you polish it by hand, you read it yourself, you go through the script, you find a few mistakes, and if you don't like something, change it. Cut anything that sounds robotic or slop and rewrite some parts, usually the intro. It's gonna take like 30 minutes to an hour, and it's gonna be worth it every day of the week. All right, so let's generate our final video for YouTube. And to do that, we're going to need something called content. Wow, visuals, something on the screen. And we're gonna do this very differently than all the AI slop channels. We're gonna use a mix of three things. First up is gonna be GTA 5 gameplay. So GTA 5 is a published game that you're allowed to record content from as long as you own the game. But you can buy that for like $5, $10. And that's ideal because the footage is actually yours and you grab exactly the footage that you need for your script. The value, again, is what you're saying in the script. It's just a footage to keep the eyes busy looking at something. And then the next part of footage that we can use is going to be AI visuals. And then source 3 is going to be other stock footage. And here's what you need to be careful, okay? You can't use like GTA characters or unreleased stuff for like logos or art. That is going to be copyrighted, and we avoid that to keep your channel safe. But if you take these three things, if you take gameplay, if you take some AI stuff and some stock footage, you basically have the perfect whole video, a perfect mix with all the content that you need. All right, so now let's speed this up a little bit. It's time to generate our voice. Now, since you're not on camera, you're going to need a voice, somebody reading your script. And it's actually pretty simple. It used to be very expensive and long, but today you have three different options. You can record it yourself, very easy. You can hire somebody, or use AI, which most faceless creators do nowadays. Now that's totally fine, but you have to be a little bit careful. You want to avoid using the generic voices that everybody's using if you decide to go with AI voices, because a lot of these are getting flagged because of all the AI slop using the same voices. AI voices are legit, they are allowed, and they're incredibly cheap to use. We're talking like cents and a few seconds to turn your whole script into an audio. But you have to be careful that you don't get mislabeled and, thrown into the mix of all the bad channels. And honestly, if you can record it yourself, I recommend you do so. It doesn't have to be perfect, and your voice is the one thing in this entire system that nobody can copy. I mean, ethically at least. It's your voice in a niche getting flooded with AI, and so a real human is gonna stand out. People remember your voice, even if you have an accent, even if you're not perfect, completely fine. So am I, it doesn't matter. But you can also use something like 11 Labs to clone your own voice if you don't wanna record it every time, but still make it a little bit more real because it's your own voice that you can use inside the software, which is, I guess, more real. All right, so now let's move on to video editing. And this is the part where people get usually stuck on. They have an idea, they know how to write it, but they give up along the way thinking that editing, that's gonna be too much. So look, how do you edit? When I used to do my own edits, I used Adobe Premiere for a couple of years, but today, any free software works. They're a lot better, and you don't need an expensive program, especially when you start. You can even use something like Canva, but now for beginners, I recommend CapCut. Not a sponsor, not affiliated, just because it's simple and the free version does everything that we need. So here's how you edit. You drop the voiceover on your timeline in your editing software, and then starts the fun. You simply just place your visuals and your images along the voiceover to match what is being said. So if you have a footage that matches a little part here, you drag that over there, and that's it. Of course, very simplified, but I'll give you a few quick tips. You want to cut a little bit faster in the first 30 seconds and the intro. That's where you really want to hook the viewer. And switch between your three types of visuals so it never sits on one thing for too long. You want to use some footage, then a graphic, and then maybe an animation or something else. And that rhythm is what makes it feel more professional. Now, how often you need to change depends on the niche, and in some niches like my own or in finance, it can be quite slow. because the audience is used to that. Even so, in finance, if you have like 10 different effects and sound things and explain just things going on and weird stuff happening on the screen, people are actually going to leave because they don't want that. It sounds, looks unprofessional. So it's going to do more harm than good. But gaming is usually very fast paced. Now, here's my shocking take on editing. I don't actually recommend you do the editing. I think it's fine if you're doing very simple stuff, but as soon as you go over to more advanced videos where the production matters, it's a skill and it takes time to develop. So try it for your first few videos so that you understand the basics. But after that, I do recommend that as soon as you're starting and you're generating some views, hire somebody. It's probably going to boost your quality a lot because it's actually done by a professional, and it's going to save you a ton of time. On a Faceless channel, you appearing in every step is also what's going to slow down the whole thing. And that's literally how the bigger channels go from 1 video a week to 3 or even 6 videos per week. And remember, time has a price too. You could be doing more scripts, finding more ideas, better research, better monetization in that same time. Now, you can hire editors on Fiverr, Upwork, Discord, on other editing communities, and usually in the communities you'll get better deals because there are no platform fees, etc. But that also takes more time to find someone on these platforms, so it's kind of a trade-off. All right, so how do you monetize your channel? But first of all, let's talk about packaging and your thumbnail. And this is where a lot of people lose because they spend all this time making a video, the script, the good idea, but then it gets to a thumbnail and they're just not really able to make it work because they think about what looks good. But we're not looks maxing the thumbnails. It's all psychology. What makes somebody click? And luckily, that's more of a science than an art. So for the design portion, I recommend using a mix of AI and design tools. With the right prompts, AI can actually generate most of your thumbnails, but we still want to customize it a little bit manually, add some text, etc. And so what I use is actually Canva, which I bring all my thumbnails into, and it's super quick and you can use it for free. I'm going to show you some examples of thumbnails in the GTA niche in a second, but for the text, just same principle, model what's proven, and the thumbnails that perform tend to create curiosity in the viewer's minds, opening a gap that they want to close. And the viewer has to click to find out more. So when it comes to thumbnails, I do have a few pointers that I recommend, and keep it like 5 words max on the text, or it's going to be very hard to read. Keep in mind that most people nowadays, they use a phone or a laptop, and your thumbnails are actually really small on YouTube compared to what they look when you design them. So again, understand why it works, and then now here are some examples and proof, because I know I sound crazy. And so right here you can see Fragix, if that's how you pronounce it, and they have a ton of these good examples. And as you can see, the views that they're getting is pretty good for a channel like this. And it's just in the same kind of like GTA niche. And for some reason, I mean, it works. You can see clearly, like they're getting views. They started a channel. They're using the opportunity of GTA 6 to take their channel to the next level. And same thing with Dandy Andy Plays, or however you say that, which is also a channel that's been using this opportunity that's kind of blowing up right now. Whether you're a new channel or you're an existing channel, you can still take advantage of this opportunity, because when a trend is hot and you're able to take that opportunity, you can really grow your channel. And then we also have Mystery GTA, who's been able to essentially do the same thing, monetize this opportunity, get a lot of views, and take the opportunity of GTA 6 and the other GTA games, which again, people have been doing for GTA 2, 3, 4, and 5, and now we're just doing the same thing for GTA 6, which is literally the biggest gaming launch in history. And if you're still not convinced about the scope and how big this thing actually is, take a look at Rockstar Games, the creator of GTA, and their trailers on YouTube, because if you look at these, you'll see how many views they have and how big this thing actually is. We're talking about like multiple countries of people just going and looking at this trailer alone. It's a huge release, and we're taking an opportunity of this trend. So now let's talk money for a second, because if we wanted attention, we would have gone on reality TV, not a faceless channel, right? So everybody thinks about the YouTube Partner Program, which are ads on your videos, and that's a really good thing. It can absolutely print in this niche, especially with all the hype. But start thinking about true RPMs as well. I made this concept up myself, but true RPM is everything you make per 1,000 views. And this niche is loaded with more than just the partner program. There are affiliate offers you can drop in your description from day number 1, for example, and you don't need to sell your own products. You can make your videos, add a few links, and start becoming an affiliate. And later, once you grow, you start adding more layers and income streams. All right, so now I want to do like a Q&A section and cover some of the questions that you probably already have about this niche. So first up is going to be, what happens after the GTA game launches? I mean, is the niche going to die? Is your channel over? No, of course not. We use the launch to grow, kind of like a rocket up into space. You got to get that first energy, and then you're already up there. So you could just monetize it, right? You can get those initial subs, and then we pivot into regular GTA content. GTA 5 came out in 2013, and channels still live off it. Now the next question is, can I monetize a channel like this? Absolutely. It's not going to be an AI slop channel. We're just using a little bit of AI in the process to improve. We're still adding a lot of human touch, and what we're making is researched, original, valuable content. And that's exactly where you want to be. And so, Lucas, what about copyright, right? Again, you're allowed to film yourself playing GTA 5, but stay away from any unauthorized footage. That way your channel is totally safe, and again, that's where you want to be. And last thing, I'm not going to sell you a dream. If you try this on your first, attempt, it's probably not going to be a huge success and get like a lot of views right away. I failed on my channels. I've done different niches, everything from gaming to celebrity videos to career coaching. And channels fail, it's a business, or everybody would have these channels. But with this opportunity, I would like to say that the deck is genuinely stacked in your favor, because YouTube is now pushing small creators harder than ever thanks to their new algorithm. I talk about that in another video on the channel. And GTA 6 is the biggest hype wave gaming has ever seen, ever. And everything that you learn today is proven across niche after niche. And so these skills will help you in whatever niche you try later on. It's some of the most valuable skills in our digital era. So now there's only one step left, and that's to get started. The biggest mistake I've seen after talking to lots of people is waiting around too long. You can sit around and do nothing, which obviously leads to nothing, or you can start today and give yourself a chance. So good luck, my faceless friend. See you there.